All right, welcome back to the fourth episode of Wave World. Today I got Alex with me, a producer. Like he won one of the beat battles. He's been working with Wave World really since our first beat battle. Like just with a great sound, like a lot of talent. So just welcome, bro. How are you?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good, bro. This has been a long time coming. So I
Yep.
really actually got a lot of questions personally, and I feel that like the people who watch the like interviews and stuff, like they actually gonna be pretty interested. So if you didn't know, actually, like eccentric, like he low key was like, I used to interview Alex because I had you on the list and I was just thinking about it. And I was
Yeah.
like, and he was telling me about how y'all talk every day and stuff. So I really like first wanted to get into like your relationship with eccentric, like how close are y'all? Like how, I know how you met him, but how'd you meet him? You know, like stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, it was through Wave World actually. Well, obviously, but uh yeah, I actually saw him send that. He sent me a screenshot of the message he sent you. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was like I think I wanted to work with Remy after the first beat battle.
Mhm.
But then he said he was working with Ziggy. So I was like, damn, I gotta find someone else. So he was just the only other like active person in the Discord at the time. So he was like, okay, let's just work together. So I was like, bet. Uh, and yeah, we made really good beats that time. Like the chemistry was there, and
Right.
yeah, like I don't know, we just kept talking from there and like making more stuff.
Okay, nah, that makes sense. Cause at first, like, I didn't even know y'all was like friends. Like, I really thought y'all just like made beats for the battle like together occasionally. Then he was like, "Yeah, I'll talk to him like dinner like every day or stuff." And like,
Yeah,
I be noticing like when I be in the Discord, like the way y'all talking to like y'all give the vibes of like being friends. So like
yeah,
even me, like I was happy. I was like, I actually like something I did was positive. You know, it's like no matter
yeah. It
what where
was,
this go, it's like y'all made a connection. You know, so like it kind of made me
yeah,
happy just to think about
yeah. Definitely like a good thing from Wave World because yeah, we play Xbox and shit all the time.
it.
Like,
Damn, for real, I see. I didn't
yeah,
even know all this, man. So it's like, man, if you're not in the Discord, if you're not the beat battles, join, bro. You gonna find you an Xbox partner, everything, man. Like,
yep.
for all right, so like now I kind of just like want to ask like questions about like just producing in general. Like, what got you into making music? Like, you know, go ahead.
So basically, I first started like when I was pretty young. My aunt like played piano, and so she was trying to get me to, you know, uh, play piano. So she got me like a few like small keyboards and stuff like that, and then eventually started paying for piano lessons. So I took piano lessons for like 8 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And towards the end of that, I was starting to get into GarageBand,
Mm-hmm.
so on my iPad, and it was my piano teacher was also a producer, so he was asking me like if I wanted help with it. So of course I want help with it. So
Right.
um, yeah, he was. I don't know. He some of his ideas were good. Some of them were like he just completely changed what I wanted to do, and I didn't really like it. I kind of wanted like my own freedom,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
he definitely helped like get me going. Then from
Mm-hmm.
there, switched to FL. Um, he was there during the like transition to FL too. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. You're the first guest to say they actually started with an instrument. Like, so
Mm.
everybody else like I started on a computer. So because I actually want to ask questions about instruments, so now I get to ask them like was piano the only instrument you play? Anything else that you like learned, or is it just mainly piano?
It was really just piano. I was like,
Piano.
I wouldn't count it as an instrument, but I was like the kid in middle school who was always like making beats with on the table with
Mm-hmm.
pens. Uh,
Okay, so you already knew.
yeah,
Well, all right,
yeah. So kind of just combined that.
right. Okay, so like what did you listen to when you was like growing up, or like what like influence when you was first getting into making beats? Like you can name producers, rappers, like just like what you was into at that time. You know.
Um, so like in terms of rap and like when I like started getting into producing, it was mostly I think Metro and Southside because I was listening to a lot of like Future, you know, like kind of like what was mainstream at the time.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, like the dark like trap beats. That's what I was
Mhm.
kind of going for when I first started making beats. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think Metro is still like probably my GOAT for producer, like
Okay,
of all
that's fair.
time.
I agree with that. Yeah,
But
he's
yeah,
fire. I
yeah,
agree with that, bro.
especially like what he did with Spider-Man. He just
Man,
like
that's so
he
sick,
got so
bro.
much
Like,
respect for it and like notoriety. Like I've never really
mhm,
seen a producer get that much
I
like
feel that.
I don't know recognition for doing something.
I feel like the newer generation of producers is really like making like our job or like our role like I don't want to say more essential because it's always been essential, but more just I guess they're bringing. I feel like producers now are showcasing like how significant, how important their work is. That's why I feel like a lot of people like really just like take him serious because it's like he's not just a producer, he's a musician. That's why he can like score movies and stuff. So I feel like
Yeah,
I like that about more producers, because it's like we're not
yeah,
always in the background. You know what I'm saying? Like we can
yeah. I think definitely
fix
before was like
it.
producers were so much in the background, like doing all the
Yeah.
background work, and the
Hmm.
artist is the one who shines. But like now you get like on social media, you see all these people, like especially TikTok. I think really boosted it because a
Hmm.
lot of people started seeing stuff on FL, like people making like crazy beats on FL, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, let me get into that." So
Hmm.
it's starting to make more people interested in it, which it like in itself creates more respect for the people who like came before them.
I feel that. No, I definitely agree. I feel like just a lot of people also like I feel like a lot of people kind of like felt like alone or whereas there's not that many producers out there, but now it's like with social media and media, especially like you said, TikTok, it's like there's like a billion million people out there. So it kind of makes you feel like some people will say like it's oversaturated, but to me it's like if that person can do it, why can't I? So it's kind of like motivating that there's like other people, going through similar experiences and having like the same type of influence. Like every guest I've gone on here, we talked about Metro at least a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
it's like it's something that we all kind of can like we all can kind of have a community with. Back then it's like more producers are more spread out. It was like only a few teams, like so I kind of like that, about the like producer era today. All right, so you said like Metro Future, more just mainstream rap. And
yeah.
like talk about like when you had first started making beats, like just talk about like how was it? Were you actually good when you started? Were you one of
Uh,
them people like or were you like bad, because I know everybody's different, like
mhm. It was like I could definitely do the melodies because of all the piano and like the theory I learned.
hmm
So it kind of the melodies kind of just came natural. Um, but again with GarageBand, like it's so limited, so the mixes would come out really bad, or like the drums, I would have like 3 drum kits, and I didn't really know how to like put it into the sampler or anything. I would just use a little drum machine. Um, but it wasn't bad. It was for what it was. It wasn't bad, but I think
okay,
I've definitely improved so much since then.
definitely. Definitely. But this is like the main thing I really want to ask. Like, how do you feel like? Do you feel like knowing an instrument or knowing knowing theory? Like how essential or how like important do you think that is for being a producer? Because it's a whole debate versus straight using the computer versus knowing how to use both, only using
Mhm.
instruments. Like what do you feel? Because you were one of the producers who started, or at least your main influence was piano or an instrument. So like,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts, opinions, like feelings about it?
Uh, I would say it's not like completely essential, but it definitely helps a lot. And I feel like if you can play an instrument, it's going to separate you from a lot of other producers.
Mhm.
Like, uh, I don't know, I've seen like even like lately Benny X, I know he plays like guitar, like
Mhm.
he plays some instruments at least. Like like high quality industry producers, usually they know how to play an instrument.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree.
and like it helps, especially what I want to learn is guitar because
Me too.
it's
Me
so
too.
hard to get a good sounding guitar through a VST on the computer.
Mhm.
And like if you want to be making your own stuff and not using loops, uh like guitar, that's definitely a skill to have.
Yeah, I
um
agree.
but there's also like you don't really need it to like make good music because Eccentric, he started like this year. He didn't play an
Mhm.
instrument before, I'm pretty sure. uh and he's like really, his progress is so crazy, like
Yeah, it
he's
is. It
improved so
really
much.
is.
Yeah. um and yeah, he hasn't played an instrument, but yeah, I think it helps to some degree, but you don't necessarily need it, at least to get started.
I feel that. You know, That's a good answer. Like, I like that you didn't say like, of course it's your opinion, you know, like have whatever you want. But I like how you're like, no, you need to learn an instrument, like because I
Mm,
feel like people forget there's no rules. Now, like I do know some instruments, and I want to get better, and I definitely myself I do believe like it will help you as a producer in the long run, or even like at the stage you're at. But let's still like you know, there's people with like platinum hits and stuff that only make stuff on the computer. You know, that doesn't mean like their beats aren't good, but it's like it definitely will help you because I feel like even most big producers, when I watch producer grind interviews and producer culture, they're always when they ask them, they're like, "What are you working on right now?" I'm really just trying to learn an instrument. So it's like even big producers,
mm,
like a lot of time, like they might write it off and then they realize how important it is. And the same could be said for like FL. I'm pretty sure when that stuff started or when the program was starting to become popular, people was like, "It's fake. That's not real." Like you're on a computer, but you know, it's
yeah.
like people learn to appreciate and understand you know how significant something is as time goes on.
Yeah, yeah, it's like how people didn't, or I guess artists didn't really like photographs at first because it's like kind of cheating. You're
Mm-hmm.
not drawing it; you're just taking the light of it and like
Mm-hmm.
putting it in the picture. It's not really, you don't have to put in all the work, even
Mm-hmm.
though it's an art form itself. And actually, I did in last year. I had like a black music class, and I did a essay on the history of the 808.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good idea, bro. That
Yeah,
sounds
it
fire.
was actually fun. I can send it to you later if you want.
Yeah, bro. I
But
would love to read that for real, bro. Honestly,
yeah,
like,
it was cool. But it was part of the what I learned was that producers, or I guess musicians in general, when DAWs came out, it was like looked down upon because you haven't really, like, you're not making it with the instrument. You're doing it on a computer. You're just sitting there like not really making music, I guess what they're
right.
trying to say. But it's like it's a new thing. It's new technology. It's just uh, the same thing, just a faster way of doing it.
Nah, I like the analogy you use with like photographs and such because like to add to your point, like it's a quote. I watched like it was a documentary about autotune. And do you know who
Mm.
T Pain is? The like the R&B singer,
Yeah.
like or so he was like, you know, he was like the first person to really use it. And he was saying like Cher was the first person to use it, but he was like the first like rapper mainstream person to use it. And he was saying like nobody respects anything the first time it's used or like when it's first brought up.
Mm.
And he was saying like when a different artist, when Kanye made 808s on Heartbreak, it's like autotune is so great. It felt so great. Now that like you see Metro and you know other big producers, Nick Muir, etc., making hits, but it's like when something is introduced, I feel like people are, especially when it's connected to an art form, especially you know something as serious. Like I feel like when something is first introduced, like it's always like kind of looked down upon because it's different. But I also feel like it's like people can be afraid of things like when they first see it. Like it's SL, like it's gonna take our jobs. You know, it's the same way people feel about robots and
Mm.
say that when you know when it's like it's a factory, they're gonna take our jobs. And it's like it's not the way it works. It's like when things are put into
Mm-hmm.
place, they're put into place for people to use. You know, same thing with instruments and DAWs. You know.
Yeah, AI now too. Like
Yeah,
everything's
I
gonna
was
take your
I was
job,
about to say
but
that's next, bro.
it's really
All these
just a
AI
tool.
VSTs and making my own
Yeah.
melodies and chords. I'm like, man, I haven't even got into that, bro. I really need to make a whole video on that, bro. That's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
interesting, man. We're gonna have Wave World discussion groups, bro. But right now I kind of just want to ask about like your beat making process. So I know like the first tutorial you kind of helped me with, or not helped me, damn near really just did the whole thing was
Mm.
the ambient like heavenly. I'm gonna throw a clip in here for the viewers, but you know the beat I'm talking about. So like,
Yeah, yeah.
what is your like your favorite type of genres of beats to make, and how do you usually go about your beat making process? You know.
Um, so I would say I try to hit like as many genres as I can because I
Mm-hmm.
want to just try different things, see what I'm good at, see what sounds good to me. I don't like listen to the same thing over and over again. So one thing I do, I would say one thing I my favorite ones that I do make, not my favorite to make, but like the ones that sound the best to me, are the ambient ones because Omnisphere carries me so much. The
Man,
Omnisphere
my
is just so
computer can't
good.
even handle it, man. I wish I could use it, bro. It's a beautiful
Yeah,
plugin, bro.
I'm surprised my last computer could handle it, but yeah, like the strings on that are so nice, and I actually have one I haven't really showed many people, but I made like kind of, it's almost like a movie score. mostly with Omnisphere and like the Symphony Orchestra or something like that. But what was the other question? What the other part of the question?
Yeah, I was just like, how do you own like your beat? I should ask them 2 different times. It is a long question, but like, how do you go around making beats? Like, you melody beat, like chords, like just your process, you know?
Yeah. Usually, I'll start with the melody. Just play around on the keyboard, like try to find a key or a melody that I like. It usually takes the longest thing for me. Usually, is finding a sound.
Me too.
Sound selection, because I'll literally click through all of them.
Me too. I'm trying not to cut you off. I know that's what I've been going through. But the last few months, it's just I'm trying to get better at sound selection. But I understand completely.
Yeah, there's a few I know that I like, but if I'm trying to find something different, create something new, I'm gonna be searching through every VST, every like sound bank, looking for a good sound that I like. And then from there, usually it starts with a lead, and I'll do some chords on top of it, and then drums. Yeah, I actually I don't know if a lot of people do it, but I like to mix as I go.
Instead of just like waiting till the end.
Yeah, because I feel
that's a good habit. No, that's a good habit.
If it's not sounding good to me, I'm not gonna be able to continue the beat. You know what I mean?
I feel that. Okay. But does your mixing ever get like too like I've been mixing the snare for 30 minutes? Like, do you ever find yourself there, or you're just like always, you know, or at least maybe with these heavenly melodies, bro? Like, do you ever find yourself like over mixing, you know, for lack of a better word, or are you usually pretty proficient?
I would say sometimes like I'll have an idea in my head, but then not know exactly how to get it. And I'll add like so many plugins to it, it just doesn't sound the same anymore. And I'll have to like take them all off and restart.
Right.
I
feel that.
Yeah. I think what took me longest with mixing was understanding, it's going to sound stupid, but compression.
No, that's not stupid at all, bro.
But now I kind of understand it, and it seems so simple to me now, or so much more simple than I was making it out to be. But yeah, I think understanding that and like a basic idea of how to master stuff has helped me. Like the mix is definitely more important than the master, because without a good mix, the master is not going to sound good. But
definitely,
yeah.
Okay, so like I just want to this is kind of like a scenario based question I ask most of the producers, but in your case, I'm going to like change a little bit. So, well, I'm gonna ask the first part. It's 2-part of the question. So let's say you're starting to make beats tomorrow, but like you're waking up from scratch. You haven't played piano. Well, I'll say you play piano because that's part of you. So let's say you play piano. You want to make beats. You got FL opened up. Where would you go from there? If with the knowledge you have now, like about learning how to make beats and like VSTs to download, what would you do? You know, just fresh.
Wait, so
like
I don't know how to make beats, but I know how to make.
No, like okay, like if you could tell yourself starting from day one, like what would you tell them to do differently? If they're like, wait.
Okay. I would say focus on drums a little more, because I was definitely, being like my background with piano, I was focusing so much on the melodies and not really, I was just kind of throwing like a 2-step hi-hat on the drums, like nothing crazy on the drums, which is okay. It's good in its place. Like artists gonna want something simple to do something on, but to make something different, I feel like the drums gotta be like different.
Okay.
I don't know, like more complex. Not too complex, but you just gotta find the balance, and that's what I was like struggling with for a while.
Okay. I feel like a lot of producers now like kind of like over, like they go over drums that like it's not that important as the melody. And I understand like making a melody is very important. Like I don't want to say which one is more, because I believe personally, I feel like they're both equally important. But I feel like because there's so many loops and such now, people just feel like drums are like just so like they think it's just like, it's like throw the 2-step hi-hat snare on like on the 5 or whatever, and then a clap on the 3 and the 7. But it's like a good drum pattern can kind of make or break the beat the same way like a melody does, And since I play drums in band, I feel like that's why I'm more creative with my drum patterns. But since I also play like piano and such, like I understand like the importance of melody making. But it's just like I always feel like people they never like talk about like how important drums are making beats, And like another producer, his name like Winfi, and I was asking him about advice one time a few months ago, and he was saying like when he had started, he had wished like he had worked more on just the drums and 808s, because it's like a lot of people spend so much time worrying about the melody because people you should know how to make melodies. Your melody should be good, but it's like I'm just happy you pointed that out, because like people be always forgetting like how important drums are, because it's like a lot of these beats are like the melody is simple. It's like 2-3 different chords, but the drums are like crazy or different. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people forgetting like how important drums are.
Yeah, that's the drums are what's gonna make you like want to dance to it or like bob your head to it. It's harder to bob your head to just a melody. So you definitely need to have both though, because you're not gonna just listen to drums too.
True. No, exactly. So, like they're both equally important, in my opinion, honestly, because it's like just what you said, you make beats under the table. That's drums, basically. That's drumming. Beats started from drumming, you know what I'm saying? But people get tired of hearing just a beat, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like when people like call beats, I feel like it's kind of deeper than that, because it's like a beat is essentially just drums, you know what I'm saying? But when you add a melody to it. Anyways, I don't want to get too off track. But just like the last music producer question I want to ask you before we get into the personal questions, like I see like I was on your SoundCloud. I see like you be putting on like beats and remixes. Like, how long have you been uploading your stuff? And like, are you trying to build on there, or you just want to do it because you just want to upload your music on
there? So my SoundCloud I haven't posted in a while. Usually, I posted like a few beats I liked a while ago, like a couple years ago on there, just because I wanted to try it. And then the remixes, I was trying to get like, I posted on TikTok too, and then one person like asked me to post on SoundCloud, so I posted on SoundCloud, and then just started posting most of my remixes on SoundCloud. Usually, I don't post beats because I work with this collective called Beam around my area. So usually I'll just send beats to them. It's a collective of rappers and producers. So I definitely want to branch out more and like, get set up with like a BeatStars and stuff like that. But I feel like being what's the word? Selective, I guess, with who you send beats to. I don't want to be like sending beats to everyone, especially if I'm not going to like the end result. If I work this hard for a beat, I'm not just going to like send it to someone who's going to ruin it. You know what I mean?
Okay, definitely. I respect that, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm happy you said that, because we're going to last 10 minutes, I kind of just want to like ask you questions about like just you related to music, etc. So like the collective, like explain like how you like that's I'm happy you brought it up. Explain like how you just got involved with it, like just break it down.
So it was I think it was even before I started producing. I added this guy Kari Kira. He's an artist in Beam, and I added him on Snapchat. I just thought his like Snapchats were funny. We were on one of those, back in like 2017 or something, they had those like group Snapchat stories where everyone would be on it. It was like some DMV one, and I saw him like posting on it. I was like, oh, this guy's funny. So I just added him. And he was making music. I thought it sounded pretty good. And I was like watching him progress before I even started producing. And then one day I had made one beat I really liked, and I sent it to him. I was like, yo, maybe one day like I'll produce for you or something. And he liked it. It took a while for him to like actually get on one of the beats I was sent, because I was still using GarageBand. I was still new to FL. But we finally got one, and I don't remember if I had gotten another beat with him or anyone else in Beam, but before they added me to it. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Like I met the rest of them through him.
Oh, that's cool. Like I always wonder, like, because I've really never been a collector myself. I always wonder, like, how does it work and stuff. Like I know it's just sharing music and stuff, but so it's like, but I like how like you actually joined it through a personal like relationship too, like the people you're making music for or with, you know, sending beats to. Is like you said, you're trying to be selective, which I respect because I know a lot of producers like they just want somebody in the song, you know. And I used to go through that too. It's like I want somebody to just rap, to just at least rap on my beats, you know, when I'm first starting. But it's like as you get older and like at least if you keep making beats more, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but being selective with your beats does have a lot of benefits, you know. It's because it's like there's no reason to rush also, you know. So I'm gonna have you just pointing that out. That actually got me thinking like about a lot, bro. You have to come back and do another interview, bro. You was nervous, bro. We got a lot to talk about, bro. He was nervous, man. This is great. But like the next question I want to ask, like I was on your page and I had seen like you was taking pictures and like you had on like a photography page. So I just want to ask, like, how did you get into photography and how does that do you I'm trying to say, do you connect that with your music as well, you know?
Well, photography, my dad he's kind of into photography. He's done like pictures for like weddings and stuff. Not like a professional photographer, but he's pretty good. But he gave me his old camera a couple of years ago, and I was just using that for a while. Yeah, I'm not like too much into photography right now. It's just like kind of something fun I do, but yeah, I don't really connect it with music. I did like a photo shoot with Kari Kira and another artist, Lorwood, and we're just like friends. So Lorwood was in town, and we just went to a spot and took pictures. But it's not. I don't really like. I don't know. I guess I could use it for like a cover art or something.
Oh, that makes sense. I would just so it's more just like a hobby versus like, you know, something like you're trying to like do professionally and such. Like,
yeah.
Okay, no, that's good. I was just wondering because I had seen that. I think the picture you're talking about, I'm pretty sure that was a photo shoot I had seen. And I was like, they look like artists or at least like your friends or something. So like they either artists, friends, or both. So that's why I was just like wondering.
Like it was the latest one, right?
Yeah.
Right yeah, they're artists.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't like. I'm actually in school for graphic design, so that could be. I feel like that could be used for music in terms of making cover art and like for like a website or something for music. But yeah, I just need to get my own stuff set up. Yeah,
I mean, I also want to like not even trying to be funny. You could, you know, start making the cover art for kids and stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff like with graphic design.
Yeah, and like I kind of want to mix it with marketing too. So I feel like if I could learn some marketing, that would help me market myself to like other artists.
That makes sense. Definitely. Like one skill can always be used like different ways, you know what I'm saying? Especially with marketing. Like one of my last questions was just like, how do you balance like school and trying to be a producer, you know, as well as trying to, you know, work on your own hobbies and play Xbox, you know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot. It took us like 3 times to set up the interview for the people who are watching. Like I know it's a lot, man.
I mean, for me, it kind of balances itself out because I don't make a lot of beats usually. Like I've started to make more, but like back like last year, I would be making like 1 or 2 beats a week, or some weeks I just wouldn't make any beats. Now I would say I'm making like 3 to 5 beats a week still. I know some people do like 3 to 5 in a day, but it's like I can't make 3 to 5 beats that I'm really gonna like in a day.
Yeah,
like
I understand.
I gotta put all my energy into one. Yeah,
I'm the same way. I understand. Yeah, especially if it's not a loop. Like even with the loop, sometimes I'd be having like 6 different drums and stuff. I'm like, bro, I can't see how people can just do this. Like, man, like if I make the melody, like, man, it's gonna. I understand. Like, it's such a big topic of like how many beats you can make in a day. Like, it's such a like a discussion to have, but it's like it's really no right answer. You know what I'm saying? It's like, especially. I'm gonna put a clip of one of your beats, especially for the beats Alex makes, bro. Like these do not take 15 minutes, man. These the movie score beats, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand that, but I kind of like how you just said, like your sense of balance with it all. You know, it's like I look trying to find a sense like that myself. That's all like I was asking, because it's like, even though like I know you have school, I'm in school too, like, so I definitely understand. That's what I'm asking. But it's like, it seems like you're so calm and stuff. I'm trying to get like that, you know. It's like you're more content if you're working, like your selectability, or that's not the right word, but being so selective with your beats and such. You know?
Yeah.
Well, just
And
like the second. Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, because you were talking about loops too. That's the thing. I don't like using loops usually. I want to make my own stuff, because, you know, it took 8 years of piano. Like, I know all this theory. Like, I don't want to just waste it on using someone else's loops. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes I'll use loops, but for the majority, I want to try to make my own music.
I feel that.
Even like, I feel like it's different with like when I do remixes and stuff, because I'm still making the melodies.
Different. Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah, it's kind of like reverse getting someone to get on your beat. Like, you already have the vocals, you're just making the beat for it.
I feel that. That's respectable. I feel like it's such a hard like concept, because it's like, on one hand, it's like and the money producers, they just throwing drums on a beat and they get a bunch of songs, but it's like at some point it's like how much creativity is being put into those beats. So like I feel like people can just be so like reliant on it. It's like, that's why I kind of feel like producers should learn an instrument, because it will at least, like, that might even influence you like to go outside of loops. But I've heard like this producer, like his name's like Prod by 7,000. He's like an R&B producer, but he's always saying like he don't really like using loops because he feels like it disrupts his creativity. And I just be thinking about it, because like I use loops, I make my own melodies, you know, both, you know. So I just be thinking about it. And I do always feel like I make my most creative stuff without a loop. So it just had me thinking, like, if I was to make, like how you do, if I was to make all my beats like straight from scratch, it would probably take a lot longer, but at the same time, like, I feel like I'd be more satisfied at every beat. So, you know, it's like there's two sides to it. I'm happy you spoke on that, because like, no, I was just saying, like, most producers are always like, yeah, loops, but it's like nobody ever thinks, like, nobody's saying they're bad, but it's like there's other ways to go about it, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely good in moderation, I would say. Like, if you're making one beat a day with a loop and another beat that you made the melody, or like, for me, when I use a loop, it's usually a pretty simple one. It's just like one instrument, and that's just what I'll go off of, like, just to get the basic chord progression down or whatever. But if it's like 5 different melodies in the loop, I feel like I didn't do anything, because what more can I add to that besides just drums?
Okay, nah, that's understandable. I feel like there's a producer on YouTube, he kind of does like, he'll put like a very simple bass line, a very simple like synth chord progression, and they just build, like, he'll just build his own melodies off that. But I feel like that's why like his videos are so popular, because I feel like he's just so creative with it. Like, I like that you brought that up. Or you should make content, bro. You got a lot of good ideas and stuff. It's just like, I guess, opinions, but you know, like, it's just interesting. Because most producers, like, even most producers I talk to in terms of like wave run and stuff, like, yeah, loops, but I feel like most producers don't ever think about, like, what if you just always try and make your own stuff? Like, that's a huge thing I'm trying to work on. It's just like making like more stuff from scratch. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, with me, it's like I like making my own melodies. It's just, it takes longer, you know. Like, so I'm just lazy, you know. That's the thing. But like, just like you said, like, in moderation is good, you know. But like, I feel like when your loops outweigh, it's not even like, I'm not saying if you only use loops, like, you're not a good producer, but it's like, without the loops, like, it's like you're limiting yourself, you know. It's like you're limiting yourself. That's how I feel about it also, like, just like you said, in moderation.
Yeah. And another thing I would say, because for like the beat battle, the collab beat battle, where me and Eccentric worked, I made the loops pretty much, and then he did the drums. But I feel like that's different than just grabbing a loop off the internet, because you're actually working with the person, and like, you can talk about what you want to add or how you want to arrange it or something like that. So that's something different than just, you know, just grabbing a random loop from the internet that you like.
No, it's definitely different. It's like night and day. It's like, when you grab a loop off YouTube versus when you're in the studio with your producer homie, he make the melody and then you go right ahead and do the drums. Like that's basically what
Yeah.
y'all did just on Discord. You know, it's like it's definitely a
Mhm.
difference. Like it's like between real collaboration and just collaboration for the sake of a placement. You know, it's like it's definitely a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah, like the energy is actually there. Like
Yeah,
it's, something you actually made together, not just something someone else made and then you took it.
exactly. And then don't even give them the proper credits and split. But
Mm,
that's another
yeah.
conversation. But that too. But just like my second to last question, like I don't want to hear like what are your like any thoughts and opinions about the producer industry you want to get out. Like you could be anything negative, positive, like anything you just like your own opinion. I always give a producer a chance every time. Like just whatever you want to say.
I think I already said a lot with the loops about how I feel about loops. But again, like how I said, you don't really need the music theory and the instrument to really be a producer. So it's sometimes good to be using loops if you're not really like, if you don't really know how to make melodies at first, if you're starting. I feel like the worst thing about the industry is probably, I don't know. I mean, it's the music industry. Like a lot of people, there's a lot of like shady people. Don't give you your credits or your cut, especially with producers. I feel like it's getting better now, maybe because they're getting more recognition. Like you recognize, oh, this producer made this beat. It's not like they're behind the scene and like no one will ever know that they didn't get paid for it or something.
I agree with that. It's definitely getting more exposure.
Yeah.
People are this mad. Think about how long it's been going on with like producers not getting the right splits and such.
Yeah. Yeah, that's with Beam. Usually I don't, since we know each other and stuff, like I'm not gonna usually charge them money for it. Like, oh, give me like $100 for this beat. We'll just do splits. Since we're collective, we're all like in it together. So if one person's going up, we're all gonna like support each other and stuff. So
I respect that. I feel that. I feel like people overlook that about collectives. It's like when you're selling beats, like, and I'm on the opposite side. Like I give my beat, like I'm selling beats and giving beats out to other people. Like when you're on that side, it's like a lot of the artists I work with, I'm trying like I have a connection with, but a lot of them I don't. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like when you're collective, like it's like y'all growing together. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like people always like overlook the benefits of it. You know, even though I'm not in one, like I know since I'm not in one, I know what it's like dealing with artists that we don't have a good relationship. Like I don't trust them. Like they still in the beat, they not paying me. So it's like when you're in a collective, like I guess like a community like that, very helpful. All right, but just like the main thing I want to ask, like just like you want to like tell like the audience anything like coming up, anything dropping or anything, any graduation dates, anything like anything to follow. Well, I'll put like all your Instagram and all that stuff and SoundCloud,
okay.
TikTok, whatever on there. But anything you just want to shout out, your collective people, whatever, man. Go ahead. Like,
yeah, I mean, like shout out Kari Kira, shout out Lorwood, shout out everyone in Beam, Ace of G, Heck Cannon. He's another producer. Helped me out a lot with like drums and stuff. Sent me like a fire drum kit the other day. Yeah, everyone in Beam, just shout out y'all. And then I think soon I'm probably gonna drop that one I was talking about. That was kind of like a movie score. Attack on Titan's dropping soon, like the final episode. So probably drop like with that. I made it because I was inspired by Attack on Titan's music. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Zig's always be talking about how anime music inspires him. So I was just thinking like I got that in common, but that is fire. Yeah, I'm finna send some anime music, bro. I'm trying to get like, yo, I need to get my inspiration right, bro. But all right.
Oh, also I think Lorwood is dropping soon. I got a song on there, and that one's fire too. So check it out.
Yeah, congrats, bro.
Yeah,
going up, bro. Man, I'm happy for you, man. All right, thank y'all for watching. This is the 4th episode of Wave World. Got Alex here, one of my favorite producers, man. Fire sound, good advice, good opinions. Just check him out on everything. Go follow SoundCloud, listen to the remixes, bro. So he can post more on TikTok. He will go viral on TikTok if he posts his remixes, bro. So appreciate y'all for watching.